Good evening. It is March 31st, 2025. First thing up, we have severe weather moving in, and it is predicted to be worse than what we got this weekend for Michigan and some areas down toward the south. So you want to be prepared. Old Man Winter and the young upstart Spring is fighting, and they're really not agreeing with each other. So weather is kind of bipolar right now. So starting into Tuesday, we have a mix of snow and rain moving in Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Most of Wisconsin, northern Michigan, probably from Ludington down through Mount Pleasant, Elma, those areas, and down into the Saginaw Bay area are all going to see sleet, freezing rain. It is not a day you want to be on the road if you do not have to be. You need to be prepared that weather could turn very ugly very quickly. Also be prepared for weather or power outages, snap trees, and that sort of thing. Below that line, we are going to see a line of severe thunderstorms moving through, possible tornadoes, possible derechos. The highest area, the worst hit area moving forward is going to be, Rebecca, have fun in Door County. You're going to see some really ugly winds. Right in through here, we're going to have very tight millibars. That means we're going to get very, very high winds in that area. Very big pressure drops, and it is going to be moving quite rapidly. So be prepared, be aware. Moving into Thursday, this quickly moves off to the north. By Thursday morning, it is warming up. It's going to give us heavy rains and light rain. Anywhere you see these tightly wrapped millibars and track backwards to where those would have been, that is a line of areas you want to watch. That's likely where you're going to have the highest winds. We've got this low pressure moving up, high pressure moving in. So we will see what happens, but be aware, be prepared. This is for northern Michigan, Traverse City area. Wisconsin, you're going to kind of get better weather before us. And I don't have a good forecasting map that goes out 10 days for everybody. I'm sorry. You'll have to look that one up for yourselves. We do have possible clearing skies on the 5th. 8th, we should have a few clouds, but it looks like it's going to be mostly clear. And partly clear skies on the 9th. These are all dates we're predicted to have auroras, so that is a pretty good forecast for what's coming. So we're going to start off by going to... Here is a look at that X-class flare that happened this week. And we're going to talk about that one throughout this forecast. But you can see that this happened right on the incoming limb. It is not, typically would not be something that would hit us, except that this was such a historic CME, and it was so large that it's going to flip around and hit us. And we had some additional CMEs happening coming off the outgoing limb at the same time. They are ranking this as a full halo hit. This happened on the 28th. So you want to figure 29th, 30th, 31st. Likely to hit tonight into tomorrow. So the page we are looking at is Space Weather Live for our newbies that are just joining us. This is a page you want to get well familiarized with. And I am using it to show people how to read this, not to copyright information. I want people to understand where to go and how to read this information. So the first thing we're going to go do is look at our flaring. Our flaring is mostly within a C-class range. Some M-class flares, but nothing large. We're not got its regular activity, which is good because it's like a boiling pot. It's rolling. It's like a beginning of the thunderstorms. It's just boiling. Little bit. It hasn't got that updraft to make it really take off. It hasn't got that burst of energy. It's just a nice boil. That's a good thing. Moving down to the sunspot regions. We are losing ground on some things, gaining ground on some things. Most of these are beta class, except 45, which is an alpha. They can produce a big storm, but more likely it's just a moderate one. 4046, coming down here. It is losing size, but it is gaining umbra. So we're getting more spots, but it's shrinking in the overall grouping size. That is a reorganization pattern. This is kind of reorganization. It's kind of telling me that 48 is drawing power away from 46. And that happens when you get a large group. Sometimes the spots around them lose size because all the energy is building in one spot. So coming down here to 48, we are up 22 spots in this organization, and it is spreading. So this whole thing is spreading out. It's probably going to suck in that area, and it's turned into a storm. And 46 is sitting up here. So this is very likely drawing energy to 46. It has nearly doubled in size in the last 24 hours. This is huge. And this is where our steady rolling boil is at. And we want it to stay there for at least 2 days. In 2 days, it should be close enough to Earth facing to give us a direct hit. We don't want it to take off before 2 days. We want it to sit there. So those are our sunspots that we have right now. The next thing you're going to look at is your CMEs. And I'm going to go back here. This is our big X-class flare. They're saying it's a 360 view. So it's going to go all the way around the halo. It is a direct hit. Now we're going to look at the median. The median velocity of that CME is moving at about 1,200 kilometers per second. It will probably be above 600 kilometers when it hits us. This is the lowest. 114 is the slowest it may be going. 1953 is the fastest it may be going. And over here, when you hit these buttons right next to this, this brings up the cactus view. You can see here we have this major X-class flare, or CME right here that came with that X-class flare. Part of it erupted from the backside. It's not all from right at the limb. Some of it's on the backside. This was massive. In fact, I've been hearing this CME was one for the history books. That means what's happening is it's so large that the winds are spreading out so fast from the blast. Kind of think of a nuclear explosion, how it scoots across the ground and spreads. It's spreading out that fast that it is going to reach around and hit us because it's just blasting out in all directions that fast. We also can see that there is a CME that has taken off here. There is a CME right here, and there is a CME here that's going to add to that. This is going to be hitting probably tonight into tomorrow, Depending on how fast it's moving, it may come early, it may come late, but we're looking, it's dropping off right now, so I'm going to say sometime after midnight tonight, it probably will hit. And I am seeing some clearing skies in Traverse City. So that is how you read the CMEs. You want to look at how wide it covers. Like most of these aren't anything. We've got a 60-degree view here. That's fairly narrow. It's moving at maybe 300 kilometers per second. It's basically a nothing. It's going off this limb right here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. And then we have some that are, there was a 78 right here. This one is moving really, well, this one's moving at about 500 kilometers. So it could hit us at 400 or 500 kilometers per second. And this one again is off on the incoming limb. The only way this will hit us is if it was near enough the limb. So it wasn't going around the side. It was still kind of on the earth facing side a little bit. And it spirals backwards. If it spirals backwards, we'll see it. If it shoots out straight the other way, we won't see it. Okay, so that is how you read those charts. And now to verify that, and I can't take you back to, you're going to want to go to sdo.gsfc.gov. So sdo.gfc.nasa.gov is your website up here. This for newbies, we're looking, think of this as your white balance in your camera. When we dial up the yellow at like say 600 or 6,000, it lets us see pretty orange sunsets. Well, that's when we get to see these pretty yellow colors. We're looking at that wavelength of light. This is not going to cover the X-class flare, but you can see one here that takes off. Whop, there's a little one, and there'll be one right there that takes off. This one, if it was, let's back that up a little bit. Pause. I want to back that up. Oh. I just saw something right there. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, do you see it? Right up there on the north, right, or on the upper right side, there is a massive CME that took off, and that is close enough that we could see that. And there's one on the southern hemisphere on the limb that took off with it. Ooh, we're starting to get active. Right here, see it? You have three CMEs going at the same time. You have one over on the right-hand limb, on the incoming limb, two on the outgoing limb, one on the north, one on the south. If those are aimed backwards, we could see them. Those are fairly long in duration, too. So we're gonna ramp back through this. Oh, right there's a CME. Oh, right there. See it? Right there on the north hemisphere on the right side. There, that one will hit us. That one can graze us. It's far enough, close enough to center. It can graze us. There's a nice big CME right there. See it moving? Like it's sticking out its tongue. Blech. So that is there. Let's see if I can. Okay, here's the one that is far enough on the outgoing limb. It will not hit us. I thought it was a little bit closer, but that's too far around. It's not going to hit us, but it's pretty eye candy. And it's a huge CME. Look at that. That's pretty. Okay, so this is how you look at that one. Let's go over here. I'm going to pull up. This is 211 angstrom of lights. It's one of my favorites because I see lots of detail in it. And a reason I'm going to bring this up, and we're going to let it load. Okay, so what you see here is we still have the corona hole that is earth facing and outgoing. So we're going to see that wind from that corona hole 3 more days. And that happened, that was on the 28th and 29th. So it happened on the 28th, that was outgoing. So we should be able to see that for the 29th, 30th, and 31st tonight. And then it should dissipate some. Or it should, well, it'll start dissipating in about 6 days, actually, because some of that's still coming in. So as I rotate this forward, you can see the various eruptions coming. There's a snap here. There's a let go there. Should be one right in here. There's a quick snap there. What I'm starting to eyeball is this area right down here on this part of the limb. Oh, we're stuck. What happened? Oh no. We're stuck. I want you to watch right in here. We have a corona hole that is developing, and as you can see it come around, it's getting thicker, and it's starting to wrap around the sunspot here, 46. Here it's starting to develop back here. And we have this filament that's wrapping around down here. And I don't know why it's hitting right here where I need it to be and stopping. I think they're updating this. I'm seeing something right here develop, and I think we're going to let go right here in the next probably 4, 5, 6 hours. Which, if it whips sideways, it'll be good. If it goes straight down, we won't see it. Well, depending on the size. Let me see if it'll update again. Sorry, sometimes these feeds are picky. Yeah, something's going on here. Okay. What I was going to show you at the bottom of that screen is this little graph over here. Right at the bottom of all those pictures of the sun, you will see this graph. Right here is where that big solar flare came from on the 28th. It was right in this area right here. Probably this one right here, this purple area into here. This area blasted. That is where the big X-class flare came from on the 28th, and this is the 28th. This is what from the 29th, and you can see that this is rapidly changed, completely reconfigured, and that's because it expelled so much plasma and so much electromagnetic energy that it's kind of undergoing a reconfiguration phase. That does not mean the spot is blown apart. It just means it's growing again. If you look at how the red shape has come in, it's filling in between where the green and the red were. It's starting to get more sunspots in here, more. Think of this like a derecho. A great big long line of thunderstorms. And it's starting to get more pocket thunderstorms in it. It's in that phase right before it forms into one great big deadly monster. So think of it like little thunderstorms developing. All these little thunderstorms are going to pop up, and they're going to fight for position, and some of them are going to connect, some of them are going to dissipate as the bigger ones draw energy, and they will reconfigure that sunspot grouping. On the back side of this, we have had another a fairly good size, fairly strong sunspot area develop. This is going to take about 2 weeks. So you want to look for this activity going into the 21st. 21st to 24th, that will be Earth's facing in center stage to where it can affect us. So that's what you want to watch for with that. And that's the area you want to watch, is this big side. Let's see if I can get this to, yeah. So if you go all the way down to all these different views of the sun, you will find those backside views of the sun right here. And you could tell by this one, this is a huge, very deep, it's either a developing coronal hole or it is a big sunspot group right here. And you can see how this big spot right here is drawing everything right up into it. After this area expelled the energy, now the energy is collecting back here. So we have that coming later in the month. Going back here to Space Weather Live. The first page, newbies are going to want to bookmark on your phone. This is the most important page that tells you everything you need to know about what's going on right now. You will notice this says Earth. That is what we're seeing right now, right out our windows. That's what's happening. What is on this side of that bar or that line is what is hitting the ace out in front of Earth. And it takes about an hour to hit Earth. So what's out there is what's coming at us. So when you see it spiking up, if it's a significant spike, that's your warning to get out the door. This is your wind speed. This is a respectable speed. It's average. It's the bottom end of average. You more likely want to see 5s. 8s are wonderful. 8s are, you better be standing out there long before it hits, because you're going to be sorry if you don't. Let's go down to density. Whoops. It's not letting me move. So going out here to density, let's take this in so you can see a really good view of that density. This is where Earth is. You can see the density's dropped off, probably because it's got a change in polarity coming. And it's going to spike back up here and have some spikes and flip-flopping. And flip-flopping, when we get these spiky movements, that is typical of you want to pay attention. Going down here to BZ, you can see that this is flip-flopping right here. It's red, and then it's green, and it's red, and it's green. So it's positive down here, negative up here. We have to have it to be in the positive. These things work in tandem with each other. Okay? They are not a hard and fast rule. You can have a weak wind and really hot, thick density, like say a 10 to a 20, and have a really strong BZ, and you will see the auroras. You can have crap density, but have a very fast wind and a really strong BZ and see the storm. Likewise, you can, if you have a really super fast wind and a really super dense stream, even if it's in the negative a little bit, like 1, 2, 3, you can still and will still see the auroras. I've seen all three conditions happen, and it comes from learning how to observe what's going on. That's the only thing I can tell you. So this is what's happening in real time. They did away with my magnetometers. All right, this is not funny. There it is. This is where your storm disturbance is. It's in the negative right now, or in the positive. Well, it's in the negative. So this is going to be seen in the southern hemisphere, where if it was down here, it would be in the negative. This is a nanotesla. You want to look at your magnometers and see how strong that magnetic connection is. And I can show you a better graph here in a second on that one. Let's shoot over to, well, before we shoot over there and look at that, let's go down here. Whoops. And let's look at our aurora forecast. Now, we're not predicted to have much for the next few days. It's going to be a moderate levels, KP3, KP4, maybe if we get lucky. But coming the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, we do anticipate, it is already warned for KP6. This could fizzle. Remember, forecasts are right about 50% of the time, but it could hit bigger if we get some really big activity out of the sunspot region that's coming in. We get some significant CMEs that could easily go up to a KP9. And we're in that range in the next 3 days. Any activity we get after that is going to really ramp things up. We have some moderate chances after that, but then, as I said again, we have 4 days right about starting about the 21st. That is when those back sunspot groups are going to be rotating Earth facing. This will likely change before it gets to us. And this gets updated every Monday. And if something significant happens, they'll update the scale, but this is typically you want to check on Mondays. That is what we have there. Now, I'm going to go over here. We're going to go to maybe, nope, it's still not there. I've got to find this. They've moved it again. This happens every once in a while. They change it out on me. So that is what we have coming at us. The negative. To all of the solar activity that we've been having, as we have had some fairly significant earthquakes. Miramar, I'm sure everybody has heard, had a 7.7 earthquake. It devastated the Miramar region, and it was felt as far away as Bangkok, Thailand, into China, and it has caused devastating collapses. Thousands of people are going to be dead. They're going to be counting bodies probably for weeks before they get a grand total of how many were killed. It was just devastating. Today there was a 6.7 point in Tonga. They are better equipped to deal with earthquakes in that region because they happen more frequently. And they don't build as much skyscrapers and big things so they have a little less damage. We do have, one thing we should be concerned about, Mount Etna, and another one, Fuego. I can never remember the name of that one in Italy. We have 2 super volcanoes in Italy. Santori, just south of Greece, is a caldera that is in the ocean. They have pretty much evacuated Santori Island, except for a few holdouts, because they are definitely sure there is magma moving under that caldera. Any one of these, and as well as all the others that are going off around the world, when they shoot carbon dioxide high into the air, above 50,000 kilometers, 50 kilometers, then you're going to see that chemicals, the dioxides, linger in the atmosphere, and they form what's kind of like a sunscreen around the globe. That the chemicals will stay up in the atmosphere, the ash will stay up in the atmosphere, it will circle the globe, and everywhere is going to see changes in weather patterns because of it. We will see changes in our growing seasons because of it, and we will see if we get enough of these volcanoes going off, we will no longer be able to see the auroras because we won't be able to see through that layer of dioxides and clouds and everything else. So this is the downside of solar activity. This is possibly what can happen. When our magnetosphere becomes pressurized, we get a lot of electromagnetic energy. It unsettles our Earth. And because of the magnetic pole reversal, it's making some big changes. So if you're looking at the sun going, that just doesn't look like it's in the right spot, that's why. If you're wondering why we're having such a drastic change in our weather, this stuff is why. It's all tied together in what's happening on the sun and what's happening in our earth core, and it's driving all our weather, all our earthquakes and volcanoes and everything else. It's all wrapped up into one. This is the downside of space weather. So I'm going to leave you there. Oh, I will share one little tidbit with you. Our website is still up and functioning. We're going to be doing a few changes in the next couple of days. That cart is under repairs right now, so give it till after the Aurora event. And we are going to be running a sale. We have lots of new things for you to try and experiment. For those of you who love really cool Aurora clothing, you can get Aurora clothing. And I have a pair of shoes coming. I have the fully teal pair of tennis shoes coming, which is cool. Those are the next ones I'm getting. Who knew I had a shoe fetish? But now I have a shoe fetish with these. I like them. They're comfortable, thick soles, great shoes. Okay, so check out our pages. Start making a shopping list. Where we're going. Some new news is we are moving some of our production to a Detroit, Michigan printing facility. They will be taking over quite a bit of our manufacturing. We will still use Printify for some things, but eventually they are going to be phased out so that I can bring better prices and better products. I just believe in, most everything on here is US made. I try and make an effort to keep everything as much as possible US made. That being said, Printify is not a US company. They use US companies for fulfillment. They are not a US company. So I will be trying to get everything over to US companies only, except for the shoes, which I don't know why. US just doesn't make its own shoes. I can't change that. But I have been very impressed with the shoes I have gotten so far, and they are very much above what you can find in box stores. So I would highly recommend trying some of the shoes because they are much better than what I've seen at Walmart and some of the other stores. Cell phone cases are absolutely amazing. I use them. I have all the cell phone cases. So if you don't see it and it's a new model that just came out, please contact me. I will make sure I get a copy in there for you. But we have a little bit of everything there. What you do when you purchase product, you are supporting me getting on the road in a motorhome. And this is the exciting part. I will, once I'm in the motorhome and we have a motorhome for me to travel in, then I am going to be able to teach wherever you guys are. So I can come to you guys. You can book time and say, hey, when you're in my area, let me know you're coming. Me and a couple of friends want to take a class. I can come to you. We can do the class. And you can spend time with me. The motorhome I'm looking at is going to have 2 extra beds in it. If I can get that motorhome, then there will be 2 beds for my members to come stay with me when they want to. And if we throw a couple air beds in there, we might be able to fit a couple more in. We can trip over each other. That's okay. We want to have a good time together, and that's the point. That's why I've decided to go with a small Class C versus a van, so that I have time and a place for some of you to come spend time with me, and we can get to know each other, enjoy each other's company, and you can be learning. Also, with being on the road, I will be sharing the adventure. So I'm going to be doing reels that share what I'm doing, time lapses of the solar storms that we're at. just all sorts of little videos besides the forecasting that you can enjoy. So please support this. Please get out there and share with your friends so that we can build the money that we need to do. And I can get out there on the road and I can be available to all of you more. It's not doing me any good if I can't get on the road. Because basically, I can't handle doing quick trips anymore. It's just too much for me. I need to go slower. I'm going to leave it at that. Please share the channel. Please let people know that starting somewhere around April 15th, we're going to have a sale. I am sorting out a few things and repairing a few things over the next couple of days, but you should soon be able to sign up as a retail customer. If you are a business, you go to the business page and sign up as a business, because business clients get something different. The wholesale customers, the shops that are coming to buy from me, they get different services. Retail customers get retail customer services, and they will get the forecasts and all the good stuff when they sign up, emailed right into their email box. When I put out a forecast in writing, it's going to be coming to you right away. So, great way to keep in touch. Lots of changes coming, lots of hard work being done. Please support us. Let people know we're here. Let's get this community growing again, and let's get things back on track. All right. See y'all down the road.